update. You know, the cop who shot an 11-year-old child? The child is the one who called the police. He shoots the child. The child survived, significantly injured. He has now been found not liable. I'm going to remind you of what this did to this young man. Here it is.
He said, everybody come out with your hands up. Then I came running inside the living room. Then I remember I heard the big bang. Then I just remember holding my chest.
As he laid in his mother's arms, bleeding out from a gunshot wound, 11-year-old Aderrien Murry was so convinced he was going to die, he began to pray to God and sing gospel songs.
I was thinking like I'm going to die. Tell my whole family, tell my teacher. I said I'm sorry for what I did.
Aderrien's mother says he developed a collapsed lung and suffered fractured ribs and a lacerated liver due to the gunshot wound. He spent days in the ICU at the University of Mississippi Medical Center in Jackson, needing a ventilator to breathe.
It came right here.
More than a week since the shooting, he is remarkably in good spirits, but says sometimes when he's alone with his thoughts for too long, he has nightmares.
Sometimes I can see myself laying inside the coffin. Them are my thoughts at night, my only ones. I sometimes think people are watching me. But my main thought is me dead.
If that officer was here, sitting right here across from you, what would you want to tell him, Aderrien?
Why did you do it? I could have lost my life all because of you. I want you terminated for what you did to me.
He's actually a very reasonable and obviously amazingly strong young man. He just wanted the cop to no longer have a job because, you know, who wants a cop who shoots children, right? Put up the picture. Nearly 7 months after a Mississippi police officer named Greg Capers, that's him there, shot the 11-year-old Aderrien Murry in the chest during a domestic call. The young Mr. Murry is showing you just days after this, his wound and the bandages. A Sunflower County grand jury decided not to indict the cop after hearing evidence from the Attorney General's office. The child's mother had instructed her child to call the police because the father of another one of her kids was being hostile. That officer he called arrived and shot him and shot the child who was doing what his mother told him and probably believed that the police actually would protect and serve until this happened. After the shooting, Capers was placed on paid administrative leave, and later that leave was changed to unpaid leave. Capers went before the Board of Aldermen, most recently in November, to ask for his job back, but his return has not been approved. Meanwhile, the child's mother, Nicola Murray, after finally seeing the body camera footage from the shooting, is asking for it to be released publicly. Watching that footage was nothing I was prepared for emotionally, but it was something I had to do. She said Wednesday during a press conference, "I feel disgusted, outraged, and emotionally damaged, but in all of those things, all of those feelings, I feel blessed. This has been a process of fighting for justice for my son." Put him up. Arguments for and against the release of the body cam footage have played out in federal court by way of a federal lawsuit filed in May against Capers. The city and police chief, Ronald Sampson, attorney Carlos Moore has been fighting for the release of that footage. The city and police chief asked for the video to be sealed from the public to protect the privacy of the child. But his name has already been made public since the shooting. Moore filed a motion to compel the release of the video, which a judge approved last week, but with restrictions. Ms. Murray, Mr. Moore, and his legal team could view it, but they would not be allowed to share the video or any description about it publicly. Although they are not able to release the video, the city can. Quote, "I am here to demand the city to release it to the public," Moore said Wednesday. That day, Moore filed an objection to U.S. Magistrate Judge David Sanders' order, making it clear they wanted to be able to disseminate the body camera video and talk about it. Moore wrote that the evidence should have been filed with the circuit clerk's office, making it a public record. That order will be appealed, Moore said. He said there is no set timeline of when the district court judge would make a ruling, but he hopes they will rule in his client's favor and side with the public. Now, this is all mangled, right? They're claiming we are protecting the child here because the child is a minor. That's baloney, we know that. This is to protect the police department, to protect the cop who did it, their reputation. The last thing they care about is that black child you saw with a bullet wound inside of his body, okay? Transparency typically creates transformation, and that's the part that they're trying to stop from happening. So I encourage everybody who sees this segment to do what you can do to put pressure upon their jurisdiction to do the right thing, not only by this child, but by every child after this. All right, Rayyvana, thoughts?
I mean, God, that video was so heart-wrenching. I was a little tearing up watching that child who have, that grace in the face of a horrifying tragedy that he was subjected to, that he should having to have gone through something that no child, no adult should have to go through, but especially no child. Just to comment on the argument being made by the police department that they're protecting his privacy. It's a bogus argument. As you pointed out, Dr. Richey, his name is already out there, but he and his family are fighting for that very tape to be released.
Right.
And if that was their primary concern, the police department's primary concern, then blur his face in the video. I've seen them do it plenty of times when releasing body cam footage, blur his face, release the tape. But the issue is they don't actually care about protecting this child or other children, because if they did, the police officer that walked in guns blazing and shot this child in the chest would not have a job anymore. So they are just protecting themselves. They're protecting the officer. They are not protecting this child, his family, or the other children that, fall under their jurisdiction.
That's right. And here's the thing about rights, and you know this as well. You have a right to privacy under certain circumstances. You have a right to a jury trial, right? But all of those rights, you can waive them. You can waive every single one of those rights and say, you know what? I plead guilty. I don't want a jury trial. You know what? I waive the right to privacy for this. But for some reason, they are not allowed, the family is not allowed to waive anything. It is insane.